blast the dude in the face.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll me a ballistic skill test.
Shot Marvin in the face.
DN.
DN2.
All right. Let's hope it works. 3 successes.
3 successes. Go ahead and roll damage. 11 damage. This seemingly normal churchgoer who had just stabbed Wolf falls to the ground as your shuriken pistol rips through their torso. The priestess is split in half. One cultist is laying on the ground, but there are still 7 more. 2 approaching Sister Sarissa. And 5, that's math, yes, 5 approaching you 3. Blades all in hand. Sister after...
I guess I can act. I'm gonna attack somebody with my pistol. I'm within good range for that.
Do you want to steal the initiative?
Yeah, because it's gonna be their turn next.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. That's how.
No, you're good.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Let's steal the.
Glory.
How do you can do that with like glory?
Just use a glory.
I think we should. Yeah. Let's do a attack on them.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I roll the last pistol.
Absolutely. Go ahead and shoot one of them. DN2.
Nice.
You succeed.
3 successes.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Awesome. 9 damage.
9 damage. You, Arthur, Wolf, you've never seen Belphagus shoot his firearm, I don't think. But with a
You probably haven't even noticed that it's on me. Like
Yeah.
I pull it out.
Yeah. But with an unnatural quickness from his cybernetics, he pulls his las pistol from his hip, lines up a shot, and puts a las bolt right through the back. Or which one are you shooting? Ones that are approaching Sister Sarissa, or the 4 that are approaching you?
The closest one to me, and as I do that, I'm gonna say,
This shrine is infested. This icon is false. Quarantine is now active. Sanctuary has been revoked.
and I put a bullet through the nearest one's
Fantastic. You aim center mass with that las pistol, and you see the las bolt go through their body. Center mass shot. They drop dead. 2 of them approach Sister Sarissa from behind, and one of them is going to attack. Sister, what is your defense?
It is 3.
They bring the knife up and they bring it down, and you feel the connection, but as you feel it, you hear the ricochet of this blade just bounce right off your Sororitas power armor, causing no damage.
Sick.
Arthur, you are up.
I win, so wouldn't that make it Wolf's turn?
Did you go?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
'cause I
right.
shot him with the
With your
shuriken
pistol. That is correct. Wolf, you are up. My apologies.
All good. So there are 4 left in front of us.
There are 3 left in front of you as Belphagus dropped one. So there are 3 in front of you and 2 on Sister Sarissa.
Okay. I will shoot the ones. I'll shoot the ones on coming towards us.
Okay.
Oh, question. Actually, I
Yes.
have a question.
Yes.
Now with crack grenades, is that like an AoE?
That is an AoE, yes.
Okay, how close are these guys to one?
They are 5 feet from you and encroaching.
Oh,
Good
they're
sir.
that close to us? Never
Correct.
mind.
Yeah, this was a small kind of chapel.
No, I know. I know crack grenades do a lot of damage.
Yes. That might
Don't let that stop you.
Yeah, right? Fuck it. Throw that grenade in close space.
It's gonna turn him into soup.
Yeah, that's the plan. No, but I'll just
I
shoot.
said fireball.
Okay.
I will shoot one of the ones nearest to us. Combat. I'll make it a aim headshot, so-called shot.
Okay.
Like a combat. I have to remember this every time. Come on, Craig. DN
2.
Would it be 3 because I'm doing a called shot?
It would be. Yes, and you are currently wounded, so it would actually be 4.
So it'd be 4.
You just got
Oh,
shanked.
nice! It already made it to 4.
If your wound is added into the sheet, it will automatically
It
add a
Correct.
+1.
Yes.
So I did the mistake earlier of it accidentally adding an extra one. So just don't be me.
Okay. 6
Fantastic.
successes.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, and 1 shift. I'll give us 1 more glory.
Fantastic.
do
I've
that.
gone ahead and added it.
7 damage.
7 damage. Again,
Um,
your hot shot las gun rips through their body. What were you aiming for?
probably their skull.
Their skull.
my assumption,
Fantastic.
yeah.
You, as everything's happening, you get stabbed in the ribs. You push that cultist off. You raise your rifle, and you pull the trigger. Second nature to you, and your las bolt goes right through the head of one of the cultists. There are now 2 more remaining on you 3, and 2 on Sister Sarissa. One of the cultists again lets out a visceral, bestial roar as they see their fellow congregation members drop. And it rips off the cloak. And you are met with... Give me a second.
Gosh, anybody play Space Marines too?
Oh yeah.
You are met with this wonderful looking creature.
Oh.
Oh, I hate that for us.
Yeah.
On its hip, it has a second weapon that it pulls out and aims at Sister Sarissa. Give me 1 second.
Where was this posted?
It's on the
it's on stream.
stream.
And if you look at the other,
I can also
Screen,
post it
Chris.
in Discord for you.
Yeah.
yeah, because the quality's
okay, I
a
see
little
it now.
poo-poo for
Oh,
us.
that's right. Yes, that's right. Okay. Gotta find this weapon. Where is this weapon? There it is. Ballistic skill 5. Okay. Sister Sarissa, you see this weapon pulled from the hip, and this cultist aims it at you and pulls the trigger. But what comes out of it is not a bolt around or las gun bolt or even a painful projectile. You are now trapped in a net as this Weber, as it's called, hits you center mass, and it bolas wrap around your back. Your arms are stuck to your side. You are now encased in a web and restrained.
Shit.
Oops, sorry.
Shit.
Dark Tide all over again.
I was
Oh.
gonna say, this is. I'm always the one to get trapped by the
Look.
trappers in Dark Tide. So.
Yep.
You gotta wait for the sound, and then you have to hit sidestep
Gotta
space
hit
bar.
spacebar. Yep.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Help.
Arthur can go next.
Go for it.
So Sarissa is now netted.
Correct.
You're
Are there any others that have guns or weapons similar to the net? Or is it just that one?
The other cultists approaching you still have their robes on. This guy took off his robe as he needed to take out this kind of net gun. So you're not sure, but they haven't brandished anything except these cultist knives.
Okay, then Arthur will pull out his power axe and move to engage around Sarissa to try to keep them off of her while she's netted, and hopefully she can free herself.
Okay.
And so he'll just pull the power axe and then make a charge through whoever he needs to make space.
Okay, so you're charging the two that are at Sister Sarissa's side.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Go ahead and are you swinging with your axe? Are you going to help free her?
I'm going to swing with my axe.
Fantastic. Go ahead and give me a weapon skill test.
All right. That's going to be charging. I would love to use a glory die on this. Does anybody have any issues?
Go for it.
Do it for the vine.
Do it
Do for the vine.
for the vine. Okay. Oh, Lord.
Ooh.
Well, that's not great.
He rolled, for those viewers, he rolled 2 successes and 7 failures. Luckily,
But I'm going to use a wrath dot or a
But-
wrath point.
There you go.
luckily, the DN is 2.
Oh,
So you
okay.
do succeed.
Oh.
But
Oh, you forgot to put the.
go ahead
Oh.
and roll your complication. Ah, man, this pesky power axe, it's not really...
Didn't you say that because of
You are
what
right.
Bijan did,
You
that it gets
are
to avoid?
absolutely correct. Thank you for reminding me. Thanks to Bijan's holy oils in the back of the Torox, as he
Bless the holy oils.
oiled
Bless
that
him.
axe up, you ignored the first complication that happens. You are absolutely correct.
Woo.
Go ahead and just go.
I'm gonna have to do another roll,
Yeah, just-
and that'll generate. And I'll just do like a DN1, and then
exactly.
yeah. So that's this, and then roll damage.
Fantastic. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Were you going after the cultist with the Weber or the other one that is closer to her?
So, my question for you is, if I spend a wrath point on this, could there just be a swath of death between where I am and the furthest one, like the netter, killing a couple of them on the way?
You're talking about like cleave damage type of.
Yeah,
type stuff?
like cleaving through as he charges across.
I will
If
say,
I'm willing to spend a wrath point.
sure. I will say if you want to use a wrath point and yes, we can do that. If you want to use a wrath point, I will let you kill 2 of them.
Then I will spend a wrath point to get 2.
The only reason is because you barely connected.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, as you're running, you swing your axe, cutting one of them straight in half with that power axe. And with the momentum of that swing, you bring it down on a second one, again, cutting them in 2. There is now 1 cultist with the Weber and 1 cultist at Wolf and Balfagus's side.
Are we at a new turn after this? Is that the next round?
That is correct.
Gonna be-
It
yeah,
is
it's gonna be
it is
their
the
turn.
cultist turn, and then it will go back
Right.
to you guys. Seeing Sister Sarissa webbed, and you just cut down 2 of the cultists, the Weber will drop the web gun. Sister Sarissa is still entangled, but they will approach you, Arthur, and go to stab you.
I cast Shank.
And your defense, Arthur?
Is 2.
It does connect. Let's see how much damage it does. Oh, it does 8 damage. What is your
8
resilience?
Resilience.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So while it does connect, that puny blade does not harm you. And you were okay. Balphagus, Sister Sarissa, Wolf, who would like to go next?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna run an assist on somebody.
Okay.
Whoever's closest to me
That'd
right
be Wolf.
now. Yeah, Wolf. We will
Okay.
do our thing.
Balficus, where's its weak point? As Wolf is like trying to figure out what the hell the Weber is looking at it.
Yeah, he's running quick scans this entire time, and I think he points out weak areas of the armor, lore wise. I don't know if you're gonna actually do an aim shot, but he's just pointing out areas where he's sees weaknesses.
You've got your one thing, I've got my one thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Wow.
So
Good success.
4 successes. Yeah. Wow.
So add 4 dice to your shot, Wolf, on your next
Okay.
turn.
You got it.
The cultist, the one next to you, Wolf and Balphagus, he approaches you, Balphagus, with his knife brandished and goes to stab you. And your defense, Balphagus?
3.
He catches a bit of your bionics, your arms, a part of your metal body, and the blade does glance off your body, causing 0 damage. It misses you.
I'm glad I put that experience points into.
Smart.
Fantastic. We love it.
Okay. Is it cool if I go next?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Going for the. I keep pausing because I keep about to say trapper.
That's fine.
They're glowing red.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just locked in right
Wolf,
now.
I'd like to ask you,
Yes.
would you like to make a double shot?
Is that okay? So I didn't want to slow the game down, but is that me taking 2 attacks?
That
in
would.
one
It was so their DN is 2 to hit them. It'd go up to 3 because you are wounded. So it'd be a DN 5 to hit both of them because it's add plus 2 DN. But
Absolutely.
with Balphagus's help and your very large ballistic skill pool,
You got it. So I will do the last gun. You said DN5. Oh, it did the thing. Hold on. Aim shot. So okay, making sure everything's copacetic. What do I add because of the 4 assists set? 4 die?
4 dice.
correct.
Atlanta. Okay. Okay. What does this? Okay. And then last but not least, okay, we're good. Okay, 7 successes. And 1 shift, I will add damage to this.
Okay.
Okay, roll damage. So basically, what Wolf does is, with one arm, he posts the las gun on the pew in front of him, and then he takes out the knife he has on his side and tosses that towards the priest that was swiping at.
So
Balphagus.
you unsheath your dagger, you throw it at the cultist, and you line up your shot to drop the trapper Weber. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, and that was a called shot, so I'm gonna have dead shot applied to this.
11
Oh, I
damage.
put it in there. Nice.
Yes. You absolutely drop both of them as the dagger lands true in the chest of the one cultist attacking Belphagus, and your lasgun shot goes right through the Weber. The room is empty.
I slowly, since I kind of got loose a bit from the web, begin to remove myself from it.
Give me a strength test, actually. Let's see if you need assistance. Does Arthur have to cut you out?
Yeah.
So just under stats, just click on strength.
Oh. Damn.
Oh, no.
I did not roll well, chat.
Oh my goodness.
1 success, 4 failures. Let's see what happens. Roll complication.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Sister Sarissa,
Past problems.
as you are encased in this net, is there anything in your past, in your trials of war, maybe your trials of becoming a sister of battle? Have you ever experienced feelings of hopelessness, being trapped? Maybe you had the odds stacked solely against you, but you prevailed somehow. Any thoughts that might come to mind?
I think this entire situation, the being deceived, then being trapped, calls back to a time during her transition from a hospitaller to a sister of battle where she had a mission with her sisters, and she was the first to mess up in this one, and it cost a lot. I won't say how much it cost, but that's when she was told by her superior, by the canoness, that she was foolish and naive, and she needed to learn before she could become a full sister of battle and truly serve the emperor. And those words echo in her head as she's trapped in this net, and the reason she got here is because of those exact reasons.
These memories flood your mind, acting without thinking, maybe a bit of a god complex, your naivety, thinking you can make change in this world, in this galaxy. It comes flooding back as you are essentially helpless in this net. Your strength is not, even though you are encased in power armor, this net, whether it's made of plasteel or rockcrete, it binds you at the foot of this false altar. Would anyone like to cut her free?
Arthur will cut her free. Not using the power axe, he will delicately take one of the knives from one of the cultists and cut Sister Sarissa free.
She doesn't say anything. She doesn't say thanks. She just stands up and looks around the room at everybody.
Arthur looks at Sister Sarissa. What happened here, yeah? You just decided that you didn't like the way she ended the prayer and cut her in half?
We were deceived. This was not... These here... They did not serve the God Emperor of mankind. They serve a false deity. I learned during our prayer as the final words from her. I point to the mutilated corpse from my chain sword on the ground as she sang praises to the four-armed emperor.
Arthur will point up at the statue. Yeah, I thought it looked a bit different. Yeah, it doesn't look the same as I'm used to. Makes sense.
Structure.
Whom?
Structure resembles the Emperor, but there is aberration. This iconography is unauthorized.
Look up at it, and I look down. Can I borrow that? I point to your axe, your power axe.
He takes a second, shrugs, hands it over to you.
I grab it, knowing that this will probably do more damage than my chainsword. And I take it and hack it into the statue.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You take this power axe. It's a statue. You're a trained soldier. You're not going to miss this with your fervor at the moment. As you bring this power axe down on the statue, it's before you even feel the impact of the axe on the statue. You see a bright flash of light, Sister Sarissa. And no one else sees this. This is for Sister. You see a glowing radiance in front of you. And in a booming voice, you hear the words, "Faith in yourself is faith in me." And the flash goes away as the power axe cleaves the statue in two.
That sounds concerning. I don't like the sound of that. I will keep that to myself. As I finish destroying this, I look to the rest. What was meant to be a place of worship and solace has turned into a desecration. We need to destroy this building. Burn it to the ground. We can no longer rest here.
Right, it's still a good building, yeah?
Yes, sister.
It needs to be destroyed. Any more
Why?
whisperings of heresy could taint our minds and our souls. It is not safe to be here.
Balfrius, do we have another resting area that's as fortified as this, and any space in which we could drive tonight?
I don't know.
I know. Bijan doesn't know, but
Then, Belphagus, you enable your sigil cortex and you pull up some of the local topography maps and maps that the lieutenant gave you back at the Bastion. You already hit the slaughterhouse. There's this church, and then farther north is another manufactorum that worked on. Well, you can only, it's the manufactorum that repaired like the farming equipment. By your calculations, it's about an 1.5 to 2 hour drive north of here.
This is the closest defensible shelter. However, the sister is correct. We must purify our surroundings.
And Balphagus will motion to the area around him.
We can purge one room at a time.
And at this point, you hear a knock on the door.
At the same time, I think Wolf's gonna hit his box. And Marcus?
Yes, sir. That was us that knocked. We heard gunfire and commotion. Before you stepped out, we wanted to let you know we have our guns aimed at the door.
No, that's completely fine. I need you to take those guns and do a quick check around the entire church. Make sure there's no more cultists walking around.
Cultist?
All right, stay with me, son. Shoot on sight. Don't ask questions. Fire at will.
Yes.
Ghosts?
Yes, sir. We'll
Stay together so you don't accidentally shoot each other. And the ones in the power armor are probably your friends.
We'll check out the rest of the church and we'll vox in if we see anything.
Outstanding. Do not shoot the sister or Arthur. They're kind of on edge right now, and I can't say they might not hack you in half if need be.
Understood. We'll be in touch.
Find any alcohol, let me know.
Do you have a preference?
No, we're gonna burn the church down as well. That's what.
Oh! I'm sorry. So I thought you needed a drink.
No, absolutely. I appreciate that.
Okay.
It's not enough for me to say some prayers to cleanse, or perhaps our priest here to take the incense around. This church has been completely tainted. We can no longer stay here. I apologize. I did not take caution upon entering this place, and I foolishly let my guard down. It will not happen again.
Sister, I have a knife protruding from my abdomen. I think you took probably the best method of this encounter that any of us could have thought of at the time.
I foolishly sat down for prayer with them. I said the entire prayer. And I let them get the last line.
Right, but at least we got the last laugh, yeah? And he just kind of kicks one of the pieces of body off to the side a little bit. Like you said, now we purge the place, yeah? Can't let them win.
Yes. That does lead the question that why they were here. Who we were talking to? What was the name of the guy we were talking to? That Amonval.
Amonval, yes.
Yeah, Amonval, who mentioned this place. Amonval obviously cannot be trusted.
Well, he did say freedom of. I forgot the line.
Religion?
Religion. Thank you.
And
What
he
is
did
that?
mention oddly the church, and he had a problem that he was trying to get help with. Who knows? Maybe this was it.
Yeah,
My question is, what is this?
These heretics are not something I've encountered before.
With all the guts on the ground from the power axe and the chainsaw, does any of it look odd, perhaps to Balphagus, who might know the difference in guts versus Arthur wouldn't have any idea. It could be pig guts for all he knows.
I mean the Weber, right? Doesn't that one look a little
So the Weber,
different?
it looks like just like a net gun. There's no
What about the guy that was holding it?
Yeah, the guy. That's
Oh,
what I wanted.
yeah. So go ahead, Balphagus, and I want. Give me what's your awareness?
11.
Okay, give me an awareness test. DN3.
Me looking at my 4.
Absolutely, Balphagus.
Six
You can.
and 1 shift.
Yeah. What would you like to do with that shift?
Let's use it for effectiveness. I want to get as much info as possible here.
Absolutely. You look at this body. You can tell the skin has a mottled purple hue to it. The forehead hairless. The brow line is protruding with almost like bony crests in the forehead. The lips, while human, the teeth are fang-like, every single one of them, as if someone sharpened each tooth to a point. As you kneel down, that's just on the surface level. Give me a Medicae test, Balphagus.
It was the DN. I got 3 successes.
It would have been 3. No, actually, it probably would have been a little higher. I will give you a little bit.
Can I use a wrath or a glory?
You can absolutely use a wrath to re-roll your
Or
failure.
I can re-roll. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
re-roll the failures. Let's do it legit.
Too legit to quit.
So then I just. Oh, how do I roll again? It's just roll.
So if you
roll all your failures.
No,
right?
if you click on the failed dice, so the you can right click and say re-rolled failed -1 wrath. So if you just click on
Oh.
just click right there. There you go. Look at that. And it should have automatically pulled the wrath from you.
It
That's
did.
sick.
Did it re-roll? It did. Oh, it did it. Okay, very nice. Yes. So 6 successes.
Fantastic. As you kneel down, you take your hand. Actually, what would you do in this situation? I'll leave it up to you. What would a 6 success Medicae test for Balphagus look like?
Well, Balphagus is very thorough when he tests things. So if he's in investigation mode, you'll as you're investigating, you see Balphagus, his eyes lock in, and his mechanical eye, it's zooming around, and then he himself locks in. And if he's like testing, like he wants to look at the biological matter, I mean, he's just pulling the skin apart. Like he's literally, it's awful and disgusting and brutal. He's cracking bones to get through to the chest and like look inside. He's just ripping the flesh apart, partially investigating, and then partially like you get the sense that he's like looking for cybernetics, as he does whenever he picks over corpses. He's looking to see if there's any technology in there.
Okay.
But it is very mechanical, not
Sure.
surgical.
Yeah. Like opening a hood and taking a lug wrench and just start pulling apart engine pieces. You see Balphagus go to work on this torso. And Balphagus, as you're digging through the heart's where it should be, the intestines are where it should be, the lungs, the liver, what's left of it, as Arthur cut it in half. Or, sorry, Wolf shot this one. Apologies. But as you're digging through, once you snap the bones, your knowledge of human anatomy, the bones themselves are stronger. More force is required to get through these ones. Do you take any samples?
Yeah, sure.
As you take samples, and would you like put them in your sigil cortex? Like, would you put your finger in your brain to?
Well, for some of this, I guess, maybe you mean like, am I processing it right now?
Yes.
Like all of this? Yeah, actually, sure. I mean, there's probably, where would he put it?
And
Yeah,
his
there's probably-
little chest thing.
There is probably like a section in there, a little bio chamber. It's hard to see. He pulls aside a little bit of wires and tubing and pulls out this chamber that opens with like a sickly squelching noise, and he pulls out whatever old material had been in there that he had been analyzing and tosses that out and throws in a bit, shuts it back up.
And you see a series of just lines of code scrolling past your cybernetic eye. The genome is all wrong. It's like if this thing was created in a lab. This is not a human. This is not a meta-human. You are familiar with, you know of Ogrins, you know of Ratlings, you know of other, meta-humans within the Imperium. This was something that was passing as human.
These bodies are vat grown, not born of womb.
And Valphagus would be very familiar with that concept. That's common on Mars.
I wouldn't say they're vat grown.
Okay.
That
would be his reference point. That's how it's done on Mars.
Yeah. All of a sudden in the genome you start seeing Xenos DNA splices.
All right. Balphagus throws up in his mouth a little bit.
In my empire? No, it's-
Xenos. Oh. Pulls it out of his head. Okay. Yeah, he would relay that information, and it would just start coming out, like, as he's analyzing, it just starts coming out as a stream of data points, just like bullet points, one after another, Xenos DNA sequenced, this is the, etc.
Have your bone density. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can Wolf walk over by the body or what's left of it and just look at the hands?
Absolutely.
Do they look like humanoid hands?
They do.
Okay.
But they still have that motley purple skin. Their nails are bestial in nature. If you were a commoner, you would just think this is someone who, walking down the street, this is just someone who's lost the genetic lottery. To any other person, this would be a human. But to 4 trained agents, it was nothing more but a regular Tuesday.
He's gonna get back on the Vox real quick. Marcus, you still there?
Oh, yes, sir.
How's it going so far?
We We were just debating getting in contact with you.
For the reason of?
You should come to the other side of the basilica. There's something you should see.
All right. Hopefully you'll be alive when I get there.
Our,
Turn the
our,
box
our
off.
guns are trained on it.
So apparently the kiddos found something interesting, which I was thinking about. Remember those claws we saw at the facility?
Yeah.
Well, this guy
Yes.
doesn't have them, so my assumption is they were probably taking care of whatever that thing was.
Well, don't like that.
We
But
could probably tear through all those guardsmen that are watching it right now, so we should probably talk and walk.
yeah. All right. Sister, you gonna keep the axe? You mind me taking it back? Yeah.
I hand it back.
Appreciate it. Well, Talio and whatnot.
Do you
We'll
leave
start
this room?
walking home.
Mm-hmm.
As you leave the room, as you cross the main part of the church, the area that you entered with the pews, there is another main altar. And Sister Sarissa, once again, a flash of light, but an instant. And you hear the same voice booming in your skull. Faith in yourself is faith in me. And it's gone.
Arthur sees the statue and holds the power axe back out. All right, maybe you hold on to this for a bit, yeah? It'll be okay.
Give me an investigation check, Sister Sarissa, or awareness.
I'll do. Let me see. I'll do awareness.
Okay. DN2.
Crap.
Damn! 0 successes, chat.
Would you like to re-roll those?
Yeah. So I use ruin, right?
Use Wrath. So just right-click on
Or
the
Wrath.
dice and then re-roll failed ones.
Okay.
Come on, 3 successes right here.
There we go.
Nice.
So your complication still stands, but you do succeed. Roll the complication.
Oh no.
Oh.
That pesky machine spirit.
Your boy.
Don't you dare.
As this flash of light hits you, and you hear these words, Balphagus, your faithful cherub, without your directive, flies towards the altar.
That's not cool.
And is,
Yeah.
and is
Hey, man.
circling it. Sister Sarissa, with that success, you look at this statue. It has 5 fingers.
I'm going to once again destroy it.
You're going to
Wait, 5 fingers?
It has 5
Five.
fingers.
5.
Okay, so
5.
that one's okay.
But not 4 arms.
That's normal.
That's normal.
Not 4 arms.
It has 2 arms, 5 fingers, and you feel
Wait, 5 fingers total, or 5
Yeah,
fingers
yeah,
per
what are you
hand?
doing?
Sorry,
here.
5.
What?
It has 5 phalanges per hand.
Nice.
And as you look at it, you feel a warmth, sister. A calming warmth. And the
Okay.
cherub just hovers above this altar.
Mm.
Balphagus, do you yell at it? Do you do?
You'll hear an admonishing
Scroll keeper.
as it flies off, which is what he calls it. But he's going to follow it, I guess. This is unusual behavior for it. It does one thing. It manages his scrolls,
Mm-hmm.
like for the most part. Like
Absolutely.
it doesn't act
It
on its
refills
own.
your ink pots. It refills your scrolls. It does not have its own directive.
Yeah, it gets me small thing. It does little things. That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to it.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna investigate like what it's looking at. I want to see. I mean, is there? Well, first of all, is there any technology in this altar at all? I guess I would be like that's always the first thing I'm looking at.
There's no technology. But after looking at it, Balf, I guess I'm not even going to make you roll. This is no mere altar. This is a sarcophagus.
He'd make that known to the party.
Is that
Uh,
normal?
Yeah, do I detect anything? Can I do a deeper investigation on this sarcophagus? Like, why is my cherub? This doesn't explain why the cherub came over here.
Sure. Give me an investigation roll. DN4.
Okay.
We'll see what you know.
And Balfagus is not he's not explaining himself to anybody. He's just acting as usual.
9 successes.
9 successes.
With 9 successes, you see that this is a sarcophagus of a holy person. This is now whether it was someone high up in the ecclesiarchy or maybe a priest who was here before everything happened. But you see the headstone, you see the chiseled granite, and then at the end of the headstone it says, "In service to the Emperor of Mankind."
This container holds a sacred person.
And I'm still curious if, like, my cherub knows to look for one thing, which are artifacts that Balfagus might be looking for. So now his interest is really piqued. Does it say the name of who it is?
It does.
And if so, can I research? Like, do I know who that is?
It does not. I didn't have
Fair.
a name for them. It is just a holy grave.
So, not holy enough for me to worry that much about opening it.
It is no one of note, but to get a burial like this, they had to be someone important. You other three, Sister Sarissa, you rolled the awareness test. Wolf, Arthur, are you doing anything?
Well, the guardsmen, I'm just getting ready to head out.
Do you want
guardsmen.
do you want to leave and leave the three here?
Well, you guys seem to have everything covered here, and I'm the most expendable, so I'll go check out whatever the guardsmen found out, and if I don't come back, probably pretty bad. Is he holding the knife that's still on his side?
You're muted,
You're
Merlin.
muted.
Oh yeah, you want some company?
We can let the... Yeah, if you want.
All right, yeah, I'm getting a little bored with all this sarcophagus nonsense. Also, that knife in your side, you want me to remove that for you?
No. I remember them telling me that's probably not the best move.
Yeah, I got a staple gun.
All right, I'm gonna head over with the guardsman. He just walks off.
Okay.
Is Sarissa? Are you doing anything with the coffin by any chance, or are you stopping me from investigating further? Because you see this intense curiosity now, and Balfagus is kind of ignoring the rest of the conversation and is starting to open the sarcophagus.
Um, would I see this as like, yeah, sacrilegious?
Oh, not muted. Sorry.
Would you see this as sacrilegious? No,
Okay.
not at all.
Then no, I'll let him do it.
For one, your patron saint,
Is, yes, open casket.
they parade her around battlefields.
Right. Yeah.
If anything, this sarcophagus is calling to you, sister.
I'll go with him then as he's going to investigate. I'll observe.
Okay. Sarcophagus, do you open? Actually, we'll take a little break there. Wolf and Arthur, you continue on to the boys. And you see them in modern terms, it's like a rectory where the priest or bishop live. It's almost like a living quarters. You can see bunk beds lining the walls. This is probably where the cultists you just killed slept. And you see the 4 guardsmen that you have at your disposal standing there, staring at the wall.
You know, anytime somebody says, "Hey, you better come look at this," I'd want to say, "Hey, just tell me what I better come look at," you know, so I'm prepared more for what's gonna happen. But you know, these kids probably never seen anything crazy as what's going on here.
It's a wall.
There's probably something on the wall, Arthur.
Thank the Emperor you're here.
Report.
So we were investigating this. This is probably where they were living. There are some rations in that lockbox there. Some ammo if you need to rearm, but Phineas here, he found this. And he points at an armoire up against the wall, a very large armoire. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. And they open the armoire. And in the armoire, the armoire is empty. But the base of it covers a hole that goes underground. You can see a ladder just jutting out of the hole.
Yeah.
And Phineas
That
speaks.
doesn't seem normal.
Phineas speaks up. I was looking for some more comfier clothes. The carapace armor gives me quite the rash.
You might want to keep what you've got on. Whatever these cultists were working in, you might not want to be wearing whatever they were wearing.
I understand.
Well, big hole into the ground. Ladder. You and me first.
Well, seeing as how you're doing well right now, go ahead, hop in. Age before beauty. Oh, I shouldn't have.
Arthur will peek down the hole. And using one of the torches from before, is there anything down there that he can see?
The ladder goes down about 10 feet to a plateau of dirt, and then there's a second ladder opposite it. So it's almost like going like this, with ladders going down. But there's nothing you can see in the hole presently.
Yeah, you know, as much as I like the idea of going down there, it might be best for us to wait for the others. They don't want to miss out on the fun, yeah? Plus, you look like shit, mate. We gotta get you patched up before we go down there.
Arthur, just
Yeah.
you also have not healed yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're both just
Arthur
bloody.
also
Yeah.
looks like shit.
Arthur's head wound it's like
Yeah.
scabbed over.
Oh yeah. No, they both look like shit.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with you on that, and also, I really hope whatever we haven't found yet doesn't come crawling out of this hole. So we'll just call him over the Vox, because I don't think leaving this position is the wisest. Sister? Sister,
Yes.
hope I'm not messing up a prayer or anything. Oh, yes, sister, they seem to have had a hidden entrance into some sort of labyrinth situation. Me and Arthur thought it would be a wonderful idea to climb down it, except both fucked up, so probably not the best move.
Labyrinth situation. All right. Give Balficus and I a minute, and we will join you.
Sounds good. I don't know if they, but not this one.
10-4.
Right?
Okay. So we cut
Um,
back up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I let Balficus. Well, you know what? I'll let him do his thing first, and then I'll let him know.
Yeah. I mean, are we opening it up then, I guess?
Open the coffin.
What does that require?
What?
If it requires strength,
What's it?
I'm gonna need help.
It is a thick coffin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll help.
Yeah, you'd see Arthur start to struggle, not really showing any like frustration, but just unable to move it without your help.
I'll help him open it.
Okay, you hear the servos of your power armor click on as you're putting force into the lid of the sarcophagus, and with a good push, it slides off and falls to the floor. And in the sarcophagus, you see a skeleton dressed in ecclesiarchy garb. What we know as like a papal hat sits upon their now skeletal visage. But in their hand is a censer, untarnished, even though the entirety of this coffin is filled with bone dust and just age of decay. But this golden censer shines as bright as the day it was probably entombed here.
I think seeing this, a just surge of adrenaline runs through Balficus. These are the moments that he is living for, and just to see something like that here, so pristine, he has this another sort of religious experience as the sigil cortex just kicks into gear and starts cataloging everything in overdrive, and he's going to reach in and pull out the sensor after a quick scan. Actually, you know what? He's going to be doing any diagnostic scans first. Very careful with any tech like this, especially stuff that seems to be already holy.
Okay. As you pick up the sensor and you're cataloging it, you're scanning it for its origin, any background on it in your catalog. Nothing pops up for you, Balficus.
This is something new?
This is something new to you.
Well, this is very exciting. Balficus probably is not smiling so much as just getting visibly, or if you're perceptive, you might notice how excited he is. He's his heart rate is increasing. He's breathing a little heavier. You
Cool.
can hear this, heaving from him as he.
Like General Grievous when he starts
God.
coughing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's excited. Like this is everything to
Okay.
Balficus,
Okay. I
and
feel like I'm
he
interrupting.
lifts. Oh, you are. You, you absolutely are interrupting.
This is the second time, dude.
Belphagus,
So I don't know what this is.
as you are
but-
scanning and cataloging this, and you are turning it over and you're getting all the dimensions of it, on the bottom of the sensor, you see something. You see a fleur-de-lis.
Interesting. I would know what that symbolizes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of the Adeptus Sororitas.
Interesting. Does the sister seem interested in the piece that I have
I
here?
mean, I'm
Do-
definitely interested in it.
Well, let's see. Do you tell her?
Oh, I don't tell her anything. I am general. Well, this is not. I'm not keeping any secrets
I'm like a beautiful relic.
necessarily.
I basically am just like I just see it as like a nice relic, and I
If you're
admire it.
interested, okay, so you're interested in it and you're looking over it, then I am not. Okay. If you're looking at it, then Balphagus is not going. He's not going to hide it from you if you notice the fleur-de-lis, but he is not pointing it out to you because he doesn't see any reason to tell you this, because this is his. This is technology. This is his. It doesn't matter what's written on this. This is his. As far as he sees it.
A beautiful relic, Balphagus. It may serve us use on the journey.
We shall see. It must be analyzed and cataloged.
Sister, how do you
It-
feel right now that Balphagus is holding something with the symbol of the Sororitas on it?
Well,
that-
do I know? Do I
Oh,
notice?
Sorry, give me an awareness test. Give me one more.
Because if I noticed, I would say something.
And I'm not hiding. I'm not like tucking it under my jacket or anything.
I'm rolling like shit today, everybody.
Aw.
0 successes.
You can re-roll
Well-
them if you'd like.
For wrath.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah. Maybe I re-roll. Worse, gang.
It got worse.
Whoa.
How'd you get worse than
Another
zero?
zero.
I
Well,
got-
another zero and a complication.
I got a complication upon re-rolling, so I will roll my complication. Here we go. The past
You
is
passed.
taunting me. I don't get anything good this session.
So Balphagus, as you're holding this, sister, you don't see the fleur-de-lis on
Yeah.
the bottom of it.
So I just, I do agree that the sensor is generally a mechanicus tool. So I leave him to it, and I admire the holy relic and that it's in beautiful condition, and I know these are used for sacred purposes. So I leave it at that. And well, we can archive and catalog in time. We should probably regroup with the others, as they have found a labyrinth below the church that we should investigate as a group.
Okay.
Agreed.
You guys have found the sensor. You've cleansed the church of mysterious cultists. And Balphagus, and Wolf, Arthur, and the boys have found a hole. Where it goes, we don't know. But we will take our break for tonight. We will be back, in about 10 minutes. So get some water, get a snack, get a drink, and we'll be right back.
Go somewhere, but also come back.
That was the point. I didn't want to lock you guys into that. You just weren't helping. You also killed a guy. Damn, Balficus, you killed a guy. Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of Ashes of the Lost. Great first half, guys. You all lived. You killed a bunch of mysterious cultists. Slaughtered them. Easy work of them.
Cultists. I loved I loved Marcus's reaction. Like,
Zoink scoops.
Cultists.
cultists. Zoinks, yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's get back into part 2. Content warning. If you were here for the first half, you could see that combat in this game get pretty visceral, get pretty hardcore. It's Warhammer. It's grimdark. It can get heavy at some points, get a little gross. So if it is a little bit too much, take a break. Come back later. Watch it on YouTube when you have some spare time. We just appreciate that you're here nonetheless. Ignite Recall comes back next week, June 10th, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Excited to see where this motley group gets to. Yeah, thanks, Craig. They keep killing my NPCs. When am I gonna get? When am I gonna get a monologue, guys? When am I gonna get a nice monologue?
A monologue and a new wig.
But
I'm
yeah,
good to
right.
go.
Yeah, I gotta invest in a new wig then. I'll just wear my my old lady wig. I'll play. But we do have some new things on the horizon. Hopefully some announcements will go out later in June, but we are cooking. We will be filling up our weeks even more starting very soon. So I'm excited to see those announcements and to see what you, the community, is looking to watch. I think it'd be fun to see. But yeah, without further ado, let's get back into our second half of episode 5 of Ashes of the Lost. Wolf, Arthur, you're standing by the hole. Sister Sarissa, Balphagus, you just opened a sarcophagus. Balphagus found a golden censer with a fleur-de-lis on the bottom. Didn't hide it, but also didn't tell Sister Sarissa that he saw it. Sister Sarissa and Balphagus agreed to go investigate this seemingly random hole in an armoire in the living quarters of this basilica. And that's where we pick up. The 4 guardsmen, Wolf, Arthur, you guys are standing there. Sister Sarissa and Balphagus walk in.
All right.
You walk in, you see Wolf with just a crack grenade, holding it with the pin out over the hole, just in case.
Arthur's holding the plasma or the melta bomb as well. Like, all right, this one or that one? What do you think?
I mean, you drop yours, and that's gonna just shatter whatever ladder situation's happening down there, melt whatever. This is more for just structural damage, and then possibly the hole will cave in, and then we have to get the hell out of here because the whole church could fall for all we.
But isn't that what we were told to do? Yeah, take the whole thing down, right?
Yeah,
All right,
well-
purge it in flames.
That's true, but whatever's down there, what if it survives and then escapes?
Right, if it survives a melta bomb and a crack grenade, mate, I think we're fucked.
This is also true. This is also true.
What is the discussion going on here?
Oh, Arthur just kind of like puts the melta bomb back into his
Add attention with the crack grenade still in his face.
What seems to be are we ready to descend?
Well, I was thinking that maybe we'd go down, but first, all right, he's got a knife in him. My head fucking bloody hurts. We might want to rest just a wee bit.
You're right. We should take a moment to regroup and gather our strength as we just took a toll. Let's pause for a minute.
And we'll be right back, guys. Don't.
Okay, so are you guys going to take your first regroup of the game?
Ooh,
Yes.
If that's what it's
Ooh.
called mechanically.
It is.
Let's do it.
That is a long rest.
we've been on episode 4.
Oh, wow.
No long rest.
Episode 5. No.
Episode 5.
Episode 5,
No
no long
long
rest.
rest. Damn, son. Yeah, it's probably good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest time.
Everyone can heal to 0 wounds, 0 shock. Arthur,
Wait,
how do
make a
you
roll?
repair your head wound?
Oops.
So Arthur finds a quiet little spot where nobody else is to doctor himself. He doesn't like anybody else messing with him, doesn't trust anybody else to do it. And he just kind of folds out this motley case of implements that he had found at the meat packing plant and things that he had in his bag,
Oh my God.
and just begins to staple his gut shut and begins to like staple suture his head. He takes massive swigs from his flask the whole time and just does it by himself, away from anyone else.
Arthur's been gone for about an hour. He left by himself. I apologize. This is a respite, not a regroup is a short rest.
Respite.
A respite is a
Okay.
long rest.
That makes sense.
So we're doing a long rest.
Correct.
Okay.
Did you not want to?
No, that's fine.
Uh,
Are we like sleeping here?
A long rest is 6 hours
long
of
rest would
downtime.
Sister, would you
Arthur
like
is
to do
Contrary
it?
to popular belief, you are still human. Besides Belphagus, you all do need to sleep still.
Noted.
No, yeah, the sister just doesn't want to be here sleeping.
While
Yes.
I will give you, while that side room, little heretical room was there, you feel at ease after leaving that room. With the holy sarcophagus that you found and the possibly holy relic that you and Belphagus found, while this room was inhabited by heretics, there's a sense of calm here and security. You know how thick the double doors are. This place is a fortress in and of itself.
Yes.
You just might want to take turns watching the armoire.
This is
Oh.
fine. It's more the. Whoa.
Sorry, Someone's turning on and off my light.
I used to do that when I also lived with somebody that had key lights. I would accidentally turn them on. It's more it's not the fear of physical altercations. It's the mental battle here that Sister Sarissa is worried about, being that she keeps hearing voices. But it's fine. She will just keep her mental fortitude about her for the evening. That is all.
During the long rest, Wolf will, right before he hits the hay, he's gonna go up to Phineas, Marcus. All right, you guys are gonna take watch, take it in shifts. Now listen, I wake up on the hour every hour, part of the PTSD. If any of you are sleeping on watch, I'll do my best commissar impression and shoot you in the head and throw you down the hole and feed whatever's down there waiting for us. You understand?
And you see them kind of go bug-eyed. Of course, we will be ever vigilant.
I like to hear. And he just finds a spot just on the wall next to them. And he's still got the helmet on. And then after a second, they just hear it snoring. Like 2 seconds after he finished talking.
Does anyone else want to talk with anyone else? If anyone wants to have a conversation, ask questions.
Yeah, Arthur as he kind of comes back, and a little bit more blood on him than before, but he tried to wash up a bit. Sits down. Is Sister Sarissa holding the censer?
Alphagus is.
Balphagus is. Okay. Balphagus, what you got there, mate?
I have found a holy relic.
All right,
It
what is
will
it
be
then?
analyzed and cataloged.
Yeah, where'd you find that? You looting the church?
It is not looting. All technology belongs to the Adeptus Mechanicus.
But that looks like a teapot, mate. I don't think that's technology.
He doesn't respond.
Right, sister, are we allowed to loot the church now that it's heretical and all?
Well, the way you put it is not quite how I would say looting the church. If there are valuable items found within, we may claim them.
Yeah, right. Preserving them
As-
from the heretics, then.
Precisely,
Yeah,
yes.
I like the way you think. It's a good line.
This is, unfortunately, as I stated earlier, this church has been desecrated and tainted. So we can preserve whatever is left.
Do you know anything about this group? This desecrating and stuff?
I am unfamiliar. I have dealt with heretics that have fallen to the whispers of chaos, and I have dealt with Xenos of various varieties, but whatever we faced in there, that weird, I don't even know how to describe it. I've not faced it before.
But the humans, yeah?
It seems to be, but did Balficus not mention there was some sort of Xenos I don't know, DNA sequence within them?
Balficus, so you're saying it's Xenos that looks like humans.
That is correct.
Well, how'd you figure that out? You just...
I used my DNA sequencer.
Right, you can just do that, then.
Apparently.
Well, interesting. Have you ever come across anything like that before?
Negative. I have not encountered such a sequence.
All right, does this mean we have to be wary of all the other humans that might not be humans?
It would be wise.
We should certainly keep our wits about us and be close to prayer for the discernment.
Yeah, whatever that means. I agree.
Just everybody, don't trust anybody on this planet besides ourselves, and I suppose those four.
Yeah, as Arthur like immediately looks over at the four guardsmen that are probably shitting themselves right then.
You just see Wolf on the side, just.
Don't trust anybody.
Right. Yeah, don't plan to do much of that then. This whole thing's got me feeling kind of confused, really. I want to know what's down the hole, though.
What after we rest for the evening, we will investigate.
Right, and I'm gonna. And he looks over at Wolf. I'm gonna lay back a bit. I was told not to pass out from after a head wound, but it's not happening tonight. And he just starts to zonk off against a wall.
So that leaves Balphagus and Sister Sarissa, the only two awake, besides the guardsman.
Sister Sarissa will probably not sleep well this evening as she is troubled. But we'll try to take rest and respite.
And I guess while they're, I don't know, I technically need to be resting as well, but lore-wise, I will be looking over that equipment the whole time,
Sure.
trying to crack its code.
Give me... Let me see. Give me a... excuse me, scholar test. DN 5. Complication, but success. Go ahead and roll the complication. Balphagus.
Can I? The complications are the best part of this game.
Agreed.
As you're looking over the sensor, something still human remaining in your sigil cortex comes back to haunt you.
Mm-hmm. If you were to be awake and watch Balphagus, you would see him sort of hunched over in a corner, poured like over this sensor, and he would flash back to a memory of himself as a child, as like a teenager, with other children sent out looking for technology. It's a test. It's always a test. And as he's looking for this technology, or as he's looking over something that he's found, another kid, one of the other kids in the program, hits him over the back of the head with something heavy and steals it from him. And it's actually the first piece of metal cybernetics that he has in his head is not from any technology. It's from this attack, from repairing this, because his skull caved in.
Betrayal.
And that's not the only memory of that sort. That's what he's thinking of. All the times that he had to fight over technology.
As you're thinking about that time when you were betrayed by someone who maybe you thought was a friend, a fellow scholar, someone... You always knew that the Adeptus Mechanicus was your calling. You always knew that you would need to have grit to survive in this world. And the fact that this sensor is giving you 0 clues takes you back to that moment of when you were betrayed. And as you're thinking about that, and your cybernetic eye is constantly going over every bit and bob of this sensor, you get what would be considered like a green light on something. A file, a dossier on someone called... One second, please. Gotta go through my notes. Oh, I think it's on a different page. A file pops up, and it says it is a file on Saint Agatha. Now, Saint Agatha is not a well-known saint, but she is a saint nonetheless. And in the file, it reads, the problem of having so many notes.
Factual.
Here we go.
Factual facts.
Agatha de Souza was a manufactorum overseer on Gilead Prime during the Age of Apostasy. Records indicate she was burned at the stake for the murder of a Ministorum deacon, who is a supporter of Lord Vandire. Lord Vandire wanted the weapons she manufactured. It is said that as the deacon's supporters crowded around Agatha's pyre in mockery of her, she prayed only for retribution. And at the moment of her death, the censer that was used to light the pyre self-ignited in the hands of the deacon. Of the deacon that was burning her. In a frenzy, the deacon threw the censer into the pyre. And when there was nothing left but ash, the censer was all that remained.
Very interesting. This Saint Agatha. So it's known that she was innocent. Like this is what's known about her in this file.
Innocence isn't a word often used during the Age of Apostasy. You would know what the Age of Apostasy is. This was the age when the ecclesiarchy was in its infancy. This is when one of the High Lords of Terra started the Adeptus Sororitas. Gog Vandire was his name.
So the symbol of this fleur-de-lis, this would have been the precursor to the Adeptus Sororitas, who used this and burned this saint.
Correct.
Wow.
This is old. This is before.
But this person is revered as a saint, though, meaning like this is not like
a
necessarily
saint, a saint to the Adeptus Sororitas.
Who burned her?
No. Ministorum tech priests burned her. Under orders of Lord Vandire, as she would not give him weapons.
I see. I thought because the fleur-de-lis was on the scanner that they used to burn, like that this was the scanner that they used to burn.
Correct. Yes. This was possibly one of her weapons that she was manufacturing.
Got it.
And at the bottom, you do see one more thing. A few weeks later, news reached Gilead of Vandire's death. leading many to believe that Agatha died at the precise moment of Van Dyer's execution.
Now, Van Dyer, was he an Adeptus Mechanicus?
He was not. He was a High Lord of Terra.
Got it.
He started the Sisters of Battle, but he wanted them to worship him.
I see.
He was executed by
Yeah.
some of the first sisters on orders, some say, from the Emperor himself.
That would make sense. Yeah. Balfigus is going to sit with that for a bit. I don't get anything. I mean, am I to understand from this then that like this has a file on it, this sensor, but this is the sensor used to burn? Like, is this a weapon?
There's no chamber on it. There is no canister to hold fuel. This is
Okay.
just a sensor.
Okay. So I don't have any idea of its function still, like what
No.
it does. Okay. Okay. Balfigus would make a note that he will need to talk to Sister Sarissa about this.
Okay. Would you wake her up and talk now?
No.
Okay.
This is for another time. He's processing. A lot to go over.
You have a very old relic in your hands, Balfigus. That hits you. Maybe you think back to that kid that bashed you over the head. Look where you are now. Who knows where he is?
Oh, well, I know where he is. He's dead.
There you go. Anything else before you rest for the night?
No. Nothing else.
Okay. All four of you get a okay's night rest. Who sleeps well and warm? Arthur might. But you all benefit from the effects of a respite. You clear your wounds, clear your shock, regain all of your wrath points.
Ooh. You can regain wrath points, too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And you wake, or let's say, come back together. It's early morning, as you were traveling all day yesterday from the slaughterhouse, or from the bastion, or the heretic bastion, driving back to Bastion Ephira, to the slaughterhouse, to now this church. You had a very long day yesterday. But it is a new day. What would you all like to do?
Well, I think we go down the hole.
Think it's time. Indeed.
Arthur asks the group, what you think's down there? You want to take bets?
Death.
I hope there are answers to whatever this cult has started.
That reminds me, we should probably keep our guardsmen friends up here, just in case there are more cultists that went out shopping or something.
The door is locked from the inside.
Ah, okay.
Perfect. Well, if you're looking for answers, all right, are we taking prisoners then?
Perhaps if one seems like it's a leader of sorts. If there are any grunts, they probably know not enough information, but any that look like they're taking the lead, we should take as a prisoner for questioning.
All right, you point them out, and I'll try not to kill them.
Okay.
All right, let's head down.
So you just
Ladies
start.
first.
Sister Sarissa leads Or would you lead?
Arthur just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
gestures.
Arthur gestures ladies first, but just Sister Sarissa take his.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm determined. I'm filled with
Ooh.
determination.
Hell yeah.
Flamer
So-
in hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she hesitates for even a moment, Arthur's like, "All right," and would just jump down. But if Sister Sarissa goes,
So Sister Sarissa leads down the ladders, and Sister, as you climb down the first ladder to the small dirt landing that's there, you climb down the second. You climb down the third. You realize this goes rather deep. You're probably
Boy.
about 100 feet underground.
Hmm.
Your training kicks in as you reach the bottom to a tunnel.
Yeah. Not great.
Are you by yourself, or does everyone else follow down behind her?
No, yes, absolutely.
"Oh yeah, no."
Okay, I just wanted to make sure she wasn't down there solo. Did
Yeah,
they
no,
did they
absolutely
give
not.
you a torch to light the way?
Somebody has a torch.
I have one on my gun. That's why I was about to say Wolf will go first, but there's a little fight
Wolf.
right there. So
Well,
Sister?
Wolf, could we say you've come behind me
absolutely,
so you can at least light some of the path?
you've got it. The Wolf will be basically climbing down the ladder with one arm as the other. He has the gun pointing in the direction so that the sister has a better view of what's out here.
Okay. The ladders lead you down into a tunnel deep below the church. The flashlights, torches barely illuminating. As you look at these tunnels, you're looking around, you realize they dug up from here, not down. The church was probably... The church was just happenstance. They probably knew where it was and tunneled into it. If that gives you any solace, that the building was not originally corrupted.
This is bad.
Do you continue down the tunnel?
I suppose we continue.
Okay. You all make your way down the tunnel, flashlights in hand, and you don't hear or see anything for a while. You walk for quite a bit. You're a couple 100 yards. But then you do hear it. You hear the sound of drills and pickaxes. A work camp underground? That doesn't make any sense. And the tunnel leads you to a catwalk. And you see below you tons of people mining away. Some of the larger subjects have drills in hand, and they're just drilling at the walls of the earth. No rhyme or reason. You've seen work camps before. They're not looking for mineral or ore. There's a strategy to that. They're just digging. There's probably about 50 people down here. In this
Does it look like they're just
pit.
digging like a big hole? They're not like
Yes.
building any like architectural stuff into the stone.
No, not in this
Just digging
area.
away.
Just digging away. You see some buttresses holding the proverbial roof up, which is just the earth above you. They're just digging away.
How far away are they from us?
They're pretty far. This is a pretty large cavern. I'd say while you are above them on a makeshift catwalk, which they use to tunnel up, they're probably about 100 meters away from you. Their backs are towards you as they are on the opposite wall. They probably dug here to get up into the church, and now they're going the other way.
Can we see where they would have originally come from?
There are a series of smaller
save it,
tunnels branching off from this main cavern.
Yeah, this seems very off.
Yeah, think.
Gang. I
Yeah.
think we don't even ask questions. We just purge.
uh,
Arthur is going
Wolf,
to.
Wolf is gonna explain the numbers again of 50 bodies.
I mean, they
Yeah.
look like regular people, right? We can
Yeah,
take out 50
Arthur.
people.
Arthur's going to point out. Right, as much as I like the idea of just massacring all of these little freaks, there's a lot of them. There's not that many of us, and we do have a job we're here to do, right? As much as I don't like turning away from something like this, with all
Are you
these
saying we just-
tunnels,
You
just
just
leave.
turn around? We just leave? We leave?
I think what the rogue trader is trying to say is there is a smarter way of slowing down their process, sister. Esophagus. And he'll put the scope to your eye so you can get a better view of the cavern itself. I need any weak points in any of the structural foundations of whatever the hell they're digging down there.
Okay. Yeah, Balphagus will start analyzing what he can see down there. Should I roll for that?
Yeah, give me an awareness test. Because you are far, and I don't know if Balphagus knows a lot about mining. It's going to be a DN5.
That's six successes.
Okay. You point out a series of columns and archways that are going up towards the ceiling, holding it up. Some are made of wood, some are made of rockcrete. But what you tell Wolf, I mean, one shot isn't going to bring this cavern down. This is a well-oiled machine. This is from your understanding, this would be a professional gig up on the surface. Whatever they're digging, whatever they're doing, they're good at this.
We can't tell what they're digging for, or what are they just tunneling, or are they mining?
They're just tunneling. Like I mentioned, mining has rhyme and reason. You go in strips, you go one point after another.
Yeah.
They dug this cavern to probably get up to the church, and then they were like, all right, let's go this way.
Then this
you
does
would,
need to
you
be
would need some
stopped,
heavy
yeah.
machinery to bring this cavern down.
Yeah.
The structural integrity of this cavern is sound. We are unlikely to bring it down easily.
The melt-a-bomb and 3 crack grenades, that's probably not going to do much here. Probably something we bring back to the Inquisition.
Yes, we need some sort of... Yeah, you're right. Heavier tools, devices might be sufficient.
How big is this? I mean, they've been digging tunnels, but like it's not like a cavern, right? It's a system of tunnels, so it's
It's about 100 yards across from where you are to where they are.
okay.
And it goes probably about 50 yards from dirt floor to dirt ceiling.
This is a very enclosed chamber. Perhaps we can stop them through alternative means.
And Balfagus is going to suggest, like, can we smoke them out? Is there any, like, if we throw... I mean, if we have some explosives down there, not necessarily, you know, like, they don't necessarily need to blow the whole cavern up, but,
Like slow them down.
you know,
All right.
yeah, they're underground, like they're in an enclosed, like relatively like small place.
Right.
There's not a lot of
Some sort of cave-in is the plan.
What kind
yeah.
of drills are they using? They have to have fuel of some sort, don't they?
They do. They have handheld drills that have fuel canisters on them. Like I mentioned, there's quite a bit of normal-looking ones, but there are a few larger specimens that you can see, probably around 8 foot tall, that have hand drills the size of circular saws.
There's like a whole operation happening down there.
Correct.
So, my thought is, because you can use the
Hey, thanks for the
wrath
raid.
points.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Because you can use the wrath points to generate dramatic events.
Sure.
We could use a wrath point and offer up the idea to the DM. Hey, DM, what if I used a wrath point and they had all of their fuel tanks stacked up and stored in one spot?
Oh.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Then, as a group, I'm happy to spend a wrath point on that as a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
You see in one corner of the cavern, you see drum barrels, which, as a member of the Imperium, promethium fuel. You see drum barrels. There's 20, 24 maybe. You count, they're stacked together. You see one of the big guys walk over to it, refill his fuel tank. Whoa, thank you, Wayward.
Oh, thank you, Wayward.
Thank you so
Very
much. You see one of the big guys dip the canister in one of the barrels to refuel it, and he screws it back on the back of it, walks back over, and starts drilling again. It is across the cavern, though. But all of their fuel is
If we
piled
had
up.
a sniper.
Hmm.
You want me to make the
Yes.
shot? I don't know if the shot's gonna ignite it fully. Or at the
Don't you have a laser weapon?
Hmm.
Which is just concentrated, like, plasma.
It is as hot as the surface of the sun.
And if that
Mhm.
sun ain't gonna light some super gasoline on fire...
All right. My assumption is if this does we should probably not be here. So does anyone want to take the walking laptop and start making their way back where we came from?
Arthur's already moving.
Laptop that you speak of.
Yes, what is it?
As
What
you
is a
say that,
laptop?
Arthur puts an arm over Balfagus. It's just...
And yeah, I guess Wolf will lie down. Just a simple shot. Yeah. Not caving down an entire cavern on top of myself, hoping I
Might
get
also-
out of here.
I want to cut the catwalk, too.
It's made
He
of
looks at
metal.
Arthur.
It's not rope. It's made of
Okay.
like recycled metal that is just
Okay.
welded together.
He looks at Arthur like you can't see his face because of the helmet, but he just stares at you, pulls the crack grenade out, places it right in front of him on the bridge, and then goes
Arthur
back to setting up his shot.
dips.
Yeah, and I will ready aim.
Okay,
And I assume this is a called shot because I have to hit.
correct. You are
Can
aiming.
I assist?
If you assist him, you will
You
be
will have
down
to
here when
run.
the explosion happens.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you want the assists? I guess yeah. It's up to
Greg loves Balphagus too much.
Nothing can happen to a
Okay.
sweet little walking laptop.
Yes. Okay. So, DN, please.
DN of 5.
Oof. And then use
There's a game shot.
Use glory if you'd like.
yeah, use glory.
Oh, thank you. I shall.
This is important. Hey.
So that's 11. Okay, here we go. Big roll.
Before you roll,
Thank you.
who
I'm already sweating.
is present next to Wolf?
So are we like getting out?
Yes. Well, as Arthur, Sister Sarissa, Balphagus, are you guys falling back to the ladders?
Yes.
Okay.
Wolf?
So Wolf is by himself laying down on this catwalk.
I would say
Yeah.
as they leave, Wolf is like in his zone of, how can I say this? He's basically at the point of being so still that he starts blending in with the cavern itself in the darkness. Like his scope no longer, he turns the light off and just kind of focuses in on the shot.
You put the cape over your head to block out any light.
And he's just zoned in. He doesn't hear anything but like probably a couple rocks tumbling and whatnot, but he's focused in. But yes, if everybody leaves.
Okay. Go ahead and make your shot, Wolf.
I would like to use a wrath to re-roll my dice. As chat, I got 4 successes and 9 failures.
Jeez.
Much better.
And now it is 9 successes and 5 failures.
Yes. Wrath critical.
So go ahead and roll the damage.
Oh, was I supposed to roll critical? My bad.
We'll do the crit now.
Okay. How much? How do I do that one?
Just hit roll critical hit.
Oh, there it is up there.
Grizzly amputation doesn't really matter here.
Right.
You are laying on this catwalk as you line up your shot, aiming dead center mass of this barrel pile that is sitting there. You see the barrel that is open that they're currently refueling from, and you aim for the liquid promethium glistening on top of the barrel. You slow your breath. Your eye doesn't blink as you look through the scope. Your training has told you now, and you pull the trigger. And the hotshot lasgun in your hands fires that bright red las beam, whatever you want to call it, across the cavern, striking the liquid promethium on top of the barrel. You see it ignite, and for a second it just kind of burns. You might think to yourself for a split second, oh shit, did that not work? But just like gasoline for us, it takes a second for it to spread, as they weren't careful about where they were spilling the promethium as they were refueling. The fire sloshes out from the shock of being hit with the las bolt, and the fire spreads. You hear the commotion from the people on the other side of the room start running over. You hear them yelling, "Fire, fire. What the hell happened?" You know, the commotion of our fuel is on fire in an enclosed cavern. And about 7 seconds pass from when you pull the trigger. And like the thunderous cacophony that you heard from the Earthshaker rounds, the barrels explode, causing a massive shockwave to recoil over you and filling everything around you with brown, dirty, foggish air. You feel a rumbling in the earth. What do you do, Wolf?
Well, with the commotion happening in the distance, he will press himself up, and as the rumbling starts, that's when he pivots and starts beelining it down the tunnel he came back from.
Arthur, Sister Sarissa, Balphagus, you hear the explosion. You feel it in your core. Do you immediately start climbing? Do you wait for Wolf?
Arthur waits for Wolf. He's watching down the hallway.
I would let Balphagus begin climbing because he's a bit slower. And yeah, I would stay with Arthur for a bit as long as possible.
I trust that everybody is doing their mission and following the parameters closely, and therefore I am not waiting behind.
Fantastic. Wolf,
I
and
will-
you... Go
No,
ahead.
I will say I was listening to your awesome description of what was happening, but it was one of those things. If he pulled the trigger, knew it was going to happen, starts running, and at that point, as it exploded, all that dust and everything just swallows him up as he's still running through even that.
Exactly. It's dusty. It's smoky. It's hot. Earth is falling all around you. I need you to roll a survival check, DN3.
Got it.
As this tunnel was very long.
May I use a glory, group?
Oh, of course, please do.
Yes.
We should be down at 3. Woo.
DN4.
4 successes, 2 failures.
Your hand as your guide on the wall. You know where you are, but you can't see that far ahead of you, but you know you're on the right track. Arthur, sister, you hear the explosion. Moments later, this gust of dirty air fills the tunnel. You feel the taste of earth in your mouth. But you don't hear Wolf. What do you do?
Go ahead.
You go first.
I was going to say, Arthur looks, yells, because I don't think they can really see much at this point. Sister, get up. I'm going to go after Wolf. Make sure everyone's safe up there.
Go after him?
Right, yeah, that's what I said. I'm not going to leave him there.
She nods. She's not going to take too much time to hesitate because she's trained and knows that this isn't a matter of like feelings or emotions or anything. So she lets him go and heads up.
You start climbing,
then-
sister.
Arthur will start heading back down the tunnel to try to find Wolf.
Arthur, I need you to roll me a survival check.
The way you're looking at your sheet.
DN is 3.
Oh boy.
I'm going to use a glory.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're about to spend all our glory this evening.
Woo!
We're good. We're good.
It's not easy to find him, but you hear the crunching of boots ahead of you. Wolf, you also hear the crunching of boots ahead of you.
You hear the of a las gun getting ready to shoot.
You hear that? It'll take more than that. Come the fuck on.
And
Once you're dumb enough to come back, he'll start running with you.
Wolf, Arthur, you both connect in the tunnel as this plume of dirty air clouds your vision. Even with the helmet, even with your enhancements with the helmet on, it works for night vision. It doesn't work for dirt-filled air. You make your way to the ladder. Do you wait it out? Do you climb up? Do you wait to see what your shot did? Or are you leaving? Are you confirming your kill?
I think he's climbing up enough to get a better view. Well, it's down a hole, but like out of the cloud itself, because he can't defend himself in that cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he climbs up a bit.
The only way up is the way you came down into the church. There's no vantage point from here. You have gone 100 meters down this tunnel.
Right. And I think
Get the hell out of here.
1 sec. And he's just pausing at the ladder, holding the ladder, and he's just listening. Do you wanna
give me
what kind of roll do you want from him?
Give me an awareness test, Wolf. Or let me check real quick.
Okay.
Awareness, yeah, to see what you hear.
Got it. All right. I don't know how this climb up's gonna be, so I'm not gonna use glory for
It's gonna be a DN3.
No, that's a 2.
Okay. With your ears are ringing. The dirt is clogging your mask. It's getting harder to breathe. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything.
He just swears and just starts climbing up.
And you ascend back up to the basilica. Arthur, are you following right behind?
Oh, yeah. No hesitation.
Okay. You both climb the ladders. Balphagus is up there first, followed by Sister Cerisa, Wolf, then Arthur. You get to the top and you see Marcus and Phineas, las guns pointed at the hole. Balphagus, you're the first up. What do you say to them?
Nothing.
Nothing. You just walk right past them?
I have nothing to say to them. They don't need to know anything.
Fantastic. Sister, you're next through the hole. Do you tell the troopers anything? Move, let's go, we need to leave.
Yes, I will with urgency tell everybody to move out and get back.
Okay. Wolf, you're next. And by this point, dust has started billowing up through the armoire as you feel a rumble behind you. Arthur, you're the last one. I need you to roll me. I need you to make me an initiative roll. Or,
Remember what?
nope, sorry. Athletics, DN4.
Arthur, remember that conversation you and Wolf were having about this possibly being able to cave in the entire church?
Right, we were told, take the church down. Right? I'm just doing what we was told. That is... Oh, yeah. Sure.
Athletics, DN4.
Yeah, I got 7 dice for that.
Ooh.
4 successes, just barely. As you're climbing up the ladder, you see the hole under you falling in on itself. The wooden ladder below you snaps like a toothpick. You're on the ladder. You can see the hole that is in the bottom of the armoire as you start to escape. But you're the only one that knows that that tunnel is collapsing.
All right. Arthur is going to yell out that the tunnel's collapsing.
Okay.
As loud as he can. And he's not sure it's not collapsing on him.
Shit.
Wolf will turn to Phineas or Marcus. Get the vehicle running. Let's go. We gotta move.
The boys turn heel. They start running. You hear the very loud unlatchings of the metal door that led you here. But at the same time, you feel the rumbling under your feet. Do you follow them?
Wolf, just like Arthur was waiting for him, he's just waiting at the hole, just like if this fucker doesn't hurry up.
Arthur, you climb up that last ladder. You clamber out of the armoire as you can feel the dirt bouncing against your boots.
Run, 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 run.
As
All
you're
about
running,
face.
does anyone... Give me 1 second. I
Does
need to
anyone
check
not
something.
Run?
Right. Is anyone standing still, just
anyone-
enjoying
yeah.
the church?
Does anyone hit Arthur with the "You're not my dad"?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not allowed to say that.
Belphagus, I need you to make me an athletics check.
Oh.
Unless
boy.
someone would want to turn and help Belphagus move. Because Belphagus is not fast. You've
That's
seen him in
right.
combat.
He's such a slow boy.
I would try to help him.
Sister Sarissa, go ahead and give me an athletics check. This is not a test.
What
this
is-
this is a help roll for
Balphagus.
Belphagus.
Let's just. So, what is the DN for this, by the way?
To escape the church unharmed, it will be a DN 4.
Okay, so let me just give some context here. I have an athletics of 1, so unless you give me 3 help dice, I have no chance of.
Unharmed.
That's just to be in the game. That's not. then I need to roll well.
You could crit on 2 of them.
It's true.
If he spends glory, does that?
So
Would
when
that
you
also
when
help?
you have a rank of 1, you just roll your wrath die, the red die. If he rolls
I
a
see.
1, it's a critical failure. He has a 1 in
Okay.
10 chance to critically fail his escape if you do not help him.
Okay, I will assist.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics roll as your help roll, Sister Sarissa.
Well,
Oh,
I do
crap.
really well, gang.
10
Sis-
successes, chat.
Sister Sarissa, Wolf yells, Wolf, Arthur, you see them book it. Your natural instinct is to also start running. But as you do turn on your heel like the soldier you are, you realize you hear the soft clickety clank of Belphagus hobbling behind you. How do you help Belphagus get out of here?
I would.
I'm so excited.
You have 10 successes on your athletics help roll for him.
I am like the queen.
So that would give me
is.
11 to roll with, right?
That is correct.
I have a pretty good shot now.
I guess, yeah, just like I would if like I had a wounded sister in battle. We grab him by the shoulders, lift him, and start going with them.
So you
Yeah.
you pick
pushing
him up.
him along.
You put his arm over your shoulders.
Yep.
You feel bits of metal like pressing into you because I've just got all these like jagged bits pointing at.
Yeah.
It's not
it's like
comfortable.
As you lift his arm and put it over your shoulder to assist him. Yeah, you hear the metal on metal screeching as his cybernetics scratch against your power armor. Belphagus, go ahead and give me an athletics roll with Sister Sarissa's help of 10 successes.
Oh,
As you are
Five successes.
As you are helping him, sister, you can feel the earth buckle under your feet. Helping him has slowed you down. You would have been out of this church seconds ago, but you stayed. And you helped someone who doesn't technically worship the same God. You help someone in need. It doesn't matter what background they are, doesn't matter what Omnissiah or Emperor they pray to. You help a comrade, a fellow inquisitorial agent. And you see Marcus and Phineas, they're holding the metal doors open and they're beckoning to you. Let's go, let's go. And as you are leaving the church, you see their eyes open. You leave the front door, they follow immediately behind you. And it's calm. Wolf, Arthur, you see it first as you were the first out. As they are fleeing from this basilica, you see like dominoes, it shearing off into the earth as the ground below it gives way. Balphagus and Sister Sarissa, you turn around and there's nothing left. Except a pile of ruins, and one doorway that holds firm. You wanted to liberate this church. You wanted to cleanse it in holy fire. What better holy fire than a nice barrel of promethium? Your first and only area of respite is now destroyed. You just slept here an hour ago. But that is life in the 41st millennium. One second you may feel safe, the next, your safety is nothing. Do you talk? Do you just pile in the Torox like it's a regular Wednesday now?
I think so.
So, I think I hit it.
Something's telling me you're right. Not quite sure what it is, but I've got a feeling.
I give Wolf a shoulder, one of those
A pat?
You know, like they do in the military when they do a nice firm shoulder.
A pat?
I'm like Tracy trying to describe it poorly. One of the fellow comrade soldier pats. And
Just a pat.
yeah.
just pat.
You're doing great.
Wolf, I'm just glad you're okay.
It's an honor to serve the Imperium, sister. But we still have a comms to connect for the Inquisitor, so we should probably.
Yeah. We should
I
continue.
think they're all dead down there. Or do we need to go back later and make sure?
Marcus, Phineas, grab some shovels, start digging. When we get back, you tell us what you find down there.
They look at each other, then look back at you. Are you serious, sir?
Get in the damn talk so we can leave.
We thought it was another one of your jokes.
Everything I say is a joke. Unless
Arthur
I'm not.
walks over to Wolf and opens his little container of cigars and offers one over. As he already takes one, cuts it, lights it.
He'll take the cigar, take the helmet off, which is the only time he's taken it off since they've been down here, is the small amount of respite they had at the fort. He just breathes in the fresh air. Oh, what the hell not?
Yeah. All right. You two? And he kind of waves the cigar box at Sister and Balphagus.
Balphagus wouldn't know what to do with that.
I'm all right, thank you.
You're all lost. And as he's got the cigar in a corner of his mouth, he takes a hit from his flask on the other corner of his mouth and sits down in the vehicle.
Wolf will get in the driver's seat, start her up, and we drive off into the sunset.
Okay.
Sunrise. We just woke up, actually.
You just it's like 8 a.m.
We did just wake up.
Yeah.
You're right.
As we're driving off, Balphagus would talk to Sister Sarissa and would just say,
Sister Sarissa, what do you know of a Saint Agatha?
and he'll just leave that.
And
hanging.
that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Yeah.
Good shit. Good
There
shit.
we go.
Fantastic. Let me just fade them in together. Oh. All right. What a great episode. What a great ending.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here. We will be back next Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, episode 6 of season 1 of Ashes of the Lost. Look, I know y'all got a mission to secure the Vox Arc. We'll get to it when we get to it.
We'll get there.
We were joking this past weekend when we were all together, and I was like, it's episode 6. They've been on planet for like 24, 36 hours. You know, like they've
man.
killed demons, they've secured bastions, they just cleansed a Xenos little mini cult in a church. They collapsed a mining tunnel. These agents are nothing but efficient. But until next time, next Friday, episode 6, I think we'll see them then. Okay.
Emperor protects.
The Emperor
The Emperor
protects.
protects.
Good night, everyone.
Sometimes.